And we're live. Welcome to the live. Today, I'm going to talk to you about 7 really simple habits that you can implement that over the long period are going to have probably the biggest impact on your life. You always think all these different habits, success habits, there's fucking hundreds of them, right? Train this martial art, do this, do that. You know, little hacks all over the place. There's all sorts of stuff, right? Hundreds and hundreds of little tips on, what supplement to take, what to do, what to train. Here are the 7 things that you need to do, right? So, all sorts of things like, here's how to do day trading on crypto and all this bollocks. So, the 7 things that you need to do. All right, I've got them wrote down here. Right, first one, I think, is wake up early. Right, getting up early, waking up, just gives you an advantage in the day. And I always think that, I don't know about you, but I used to say I'm not a morning person, and that's just when I was being procrastinating and lazy and not very efficient. Today I'm a morning person, and I always feel better in the morning, right? So this morning got up really early, went to train jiu-jitsu. Starts at 6 a.m, so you have to get up at like 5:15. Nice early morning, feel energetic, right? And you feel like you've won. If you contrast that with, say, getting up at, say, 8, 9, 10, something like this, there's so many hours that you've missed there already, right? Yes, you could say, well, I'm a night owl and you work through the night, but I honestly don't think that that's good for your circadian rhythm. So you need to get up early, right? That's just a good habit to have. Get ahead of everyone. Number 2, right? Set your day with some intent. This is something that it's like probably the biggest habit that I do is setting my day with intent. Every single day I set my day with intent. And obviously I use a journal. This is my journal for goal achievement. And if I just go to any kind of, like, this is what a week looks like. So at the start of the week, you've got this kind of focus of the week, right? You've got a little habit tracker down there, so you might put in there habit 1, like wake up at 5:30 every day or 5 a.m. every day or whatever. Habit 2 might be you're going to do some kind of. I'm getting into the 7 here, but you get my drift. These are the repeatable habits that you're going to do every day, right? And then your focus of the week, these are the things that you're going to work on. Now, if you think about a daily, setting your day with intent, this is what I do, right? Biggest habit. First bit there, you've got gratitude. I always think that it's really good to have some gratitude in your life, thankful for what you've got. I'm journaling in the garden, sit there. It's like my morning routine. Like this morning, got up really early, which is the first thing I tell you to do. Then I've been out to train jiu-jitsu, starts at 6 a.m, finishes at 7. All right, went on a bit, hour and a half this morning. I get home. At that point, I make a coffee, go and sit in the garden, start journaling. So on a day, I'm going to do my gratitude, and I'm always grateful to be sat in the garden journaling because it's flipping brilliant. I can see the squirrels and the birds, and as long as it's not raining, it's absolutely mega. Right, the next bit is 3 small things that I will do today. This is the things that you're going to work on, right? Everyone relates to a goal, so you've got a goal idea, and you might peel off from the things that you said you're going to work on every day. But because you're setting your day with intent there, you're saying, I'm going to work on these 3 things. If you do that every morning, and then as the day goes on, you just tick them off, tick, tick, tick. Working like that, you will get, with intent, you'll achieve more than you've ever done in your life. I used to be the sort of person who used to just get up in the morning and just rock into work, always on the minute, so I weren't getting up so early. And I'd just be fucking winging it. And when you go into work like that and you've not planned your day and you haven't set it with some intent, the first thing you tend to do is open your emails and you end up firefighting and doing what everyone else wants you to do. You always think, oh, well, what do I need to do today? Well, everyone's always got 20 things on a to-do list. And if you're approaching it like that, you're not doing the hard things. You're always going for the easy wins because you don't, it's a big long to-do list. So you're trying to tick things off. So you go for the lower priority, easy things that are not really helping you. They're not getting you any further. Doing it this way, every single one of those three things should make a massive dent in your goals. Well, not massive, it's a daily task, but you're making a dent in your goals. And they're the things that are moving the needle, not your fucking big long to-do list, which is absolute nonsense. So don't firefight, right? I don't even do it on the small and important stuff. I literally just do the three things that I'm going to say I'm going to do. And if somebody's upset with that because I'm not getting back to them or whatever, you know what? I'm always getting exactly what I need to be done, irrespective. They're my non-negotiables. What are the top three things of the day? That is setting your day with intent. The last bit is obviously a positive affirmation. This is part of state management. I also think that that's super important. And then there's a reflection at the end of the day. So setting your day with intent, the second thing that I tell you to do, is probably one of the biggest things in terms of achieving your goals, just because you've got a plan to it. And of course, in the start, you're setting your goals and, you're writing your plan. Maybe it's a 6-month plan. But because every day you're biting at it and you're focused and you're saying, what are the three things? That's super important. The third thing that you should do, oh yeah, thank you, Jesus loves me. Thank you very much, Tobias. Yeah, great. The third thing that you should do every day is exercise, right? Now, it's okay to have a day off here and there. You don't have to exercise every day. I tend to do some form of exercise, even if it's lower level. So I train gym, I train jiu-jitsu like I did this morning. Sometimes I train twice a day, probably will today. But yeah, doing some form of exercise, even if it's just going for a walk, right? The fourth thing that you should do as an habit is eat clean. I think this is non-negotiable, right? What is the point in going exercising and working out at the gym and trying to achieve your goals or trying to work on your career if the fuel that you're putting in your body is absolutely garbage? What is the point? How's it going to perform? It's like, you've got a performance car and you're turning up at the racetrack at the Formula One and you're going to feed it with the worst quality fuel. What's the point? It's like 85% of your health results come from diet. And it also affects your brain. If you want to think clearly, you've got to eat clean, right? And that means no processed foods. Watch your overall calories. Watch your body inflammation. So I would, more of a lower carb diet. I would promote. You can have some carbs. Make sure they're not processed white carbs. Go and have a look at my diet plan on my website. So eating clean like that is absolutely mega, right? It fuels your body and your mind, right? The fifth thing you should do then, which obviously relates to setting the intent, which you do in your journal every day, is to work in focus blocks. So you're picking them three things, you're setting with intent. What are the three things I'm going to work on today? Now, when you come to do the work, you need to work results focused in focus blocks of time. So 60 to 90 minute blocks, each one followed by a short break in between. If you just work like that in focus blocks of time, hopefully you finish it by lunchtime, your three things, and then you can have a bigger break, little break in between each one. Then you can have a bigger break, and then after that you can fuck around for the afternoon, or you can do the emails. The whole Tim Ferriss low information diet. So working in them focus blocks of time, you'll achieve more than you ever have. The next thing that I always think you should do is read. Right, this is an habit that is never wasted. Even if if you read an hour a day or half an hour a day or whatever, all the knowledge is contained in books. And being a reader, all successful people read. Everyone does. Listen to Charlie Munger. What does he say about reading? or his business partner, Warren Buffett. I think he reads about 6 hours a day. Obviously, Charlie Munger, God bless his soul, is no longer with us. But anyway, there you go. Right. Next, I would say 7th and final habit is sleep. Work on your sleep as well. It's when you're really motivated, there is always you feel that sleep's getting in the way, especially when you've got work to do and things like this. You just think, oh, I need to do more. And the amount of times I've done this, but it really catches up with you. So I've been very guilty of not getting a lot of sleep in the past and maybe saying, oh, I'll just push through. And it kind of works for a bit, but eventually it catches up with you. So you need to prioritize your sleep. If you're going to get up in the morning early, you need to go to bed early. So maybe set that as one on your habit tracker as being in bed by, I don't know, 10 p.m. or something like that. Okay. I'll just do a quick recap. 7 things, your 7 habits. It's not the same. I do have the book here. I'm going to talk about books next. The 7 habits of highly effective people. It's not these 7 habits, although they are good. These are actionable habits that you can do today. Number 1, wake up early. Number 2, set your day with intent. Put it in your journal, what you're going to do, work on today. Number 3, exercise. At least something every day, whether that's working out or going for a walk. Number 4, always eat clean, whole foods diet. Number 5 is always read every day. Do some reading every day. Number 6, always work in focused blocks of time. So do those when you've set your intentions for the day. What are the top 3 things I'm working on? 3 focused blocks of time working towards the things that you set intent on. 60 to 90 minute blocks, followed by a small break in between. And then last habit, number 7, sleep. Right, let's have a little look now at some books. I've picked out some books that are going to support habit formation. The reason why I picked these books is not because they're the best books, it's because they're actionable. So a lot of the books that I read on my reading list, stuff that I've talked about, they're very theoretical. But if you think about what, habits that you can just do, you want actionable books. So I've got some actionable books. We will start with this one. This is more theoretical, but because it's called Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, it is worth a read, but it's very theoretical. Right. I'm not going to go through all the habits in there. You just read it. But, yeah, let's get on to some actionable books. What have we got here? Limitless, Jim Quick. Not bad. Full of hacks. So the best thing about this is the reading, the speed reading stuff in there. Probably read it for that. My first and still one of my favourite books on this topic, Tim Ferriss, which is the 4-Hour Work Week. Absolutely brilliant. Best thing in here, the low information diet, which includes things like batching emails, not attending to emails till 1 p.m. in the afternoon, because by that time most of them sorted themselves out. Don't keep checking emails, because it will zap 20 minutes at least out of every hour. You'll be context switching all over the place. You can't multitask like that. You need to do those focus blocks of time. So that's what that is. Low information diet. Obviously, another Tim Ferriss. Tools of Titans. This is pretty good. Just a big Bible of tools and tips worth reading. One of the bigger books on the topic, Atomic Habits, James Clear. Very good, but this is it actionable? Yes, it is. But it's more like the principles of forming any habit, starting small and winding it up. Pick this one out, Chris Camwell's Atomic Attraction. So this is about attraction, right? But it's super actionable. It'll just, if you read this, it'll just give you a bunch of things that you can just do today that will increase your attraction. And lastly, I've got this book called Traction, nothing to do with Atomic Attraction. This is about business. Lots of useful things in here of covered this book many times, but for business, like business tools, trackers, things like this, it'll give you a entrepreneurial operating system, a process, like a system in which to operate a business. Great if you're just starting out, because this is very lightweight. In my main tech business, we do ISO 9001, which is quality management systems, big international standard. It's a lot more thorough than this, but if you're just starting out a new business, like I'm doing with the e-commerce business, this is a simplified model. I think there's like 6 or 7 things that you need to get going, and they give you a template. It's really good. And then to put your habits into place, obviously get yourself a journal. This is mine, the Journal for Goal Achievement. It's built on everything I talk about on the channel, and it's based on incremental improvement, working towards your goals, stopping you procrastinating, and working on the important things. Good exercise at the start in terms of understanding your identity and assessing where you are. I mean, just going, not to plug it too much, but there's some great diagrams in here. I've done this before, the identity evolution cycle, which starts with your identity, which you form, set some goals, and then start working on it every day with good habit formation and journaling and that kind of thing. And then there is another great diagram where you're assessing your strengths and weaknesses in 7 areas of life, which is called the life harmony model there. It's like a radar chart, and the idea is over time you grow. This is 0 to 100% in all areas. You're going to try and grow that radar chart so you fill more of that space on physical. So that's like, your health, basically. Your like training, diet, all that kind of thing. Mindset, spirituality, includes things like religions and where you are spiritually, relationships, personal, professional, financial, occupational, and lifestyle. So the whole idea is to set some habits, and those 7 habits that I gave you, they're good for over time, general habits, which will make you achieve more, basically become more productive. And it's a long game, this, right? Every big goal is achieved incrementally in the daily rituals, routines, and habits, the things that you form and do repeated, and that is how you get progress. There ain't no get rich quick schemes. Well, you might get lucky once, but you're not going to get lucky forever. Best way to get lucky, create your own luck by creating the conditions for good luck, by setting good habits. Let's have a look at these comments. Yeah, loving my, all right, okay. As long as you have Jesus in your life, you'll be at peace, because everything is in his hands. Yeah, so that's like, obviously you're very strong. If you look at the life harmony model, sounds like you'll be quite strong in the, hang on, I'm just flipping to it now. So you'll have to mirror this, by the way, because it'll be on a live, but spirituality here, I consider myself to be pretty strong in spirituality, but it sounds like you're quite strong in that area. In terms of Jesus, somebody got me into gospel music the other week, and I started to listen to a bit. I know I'm going off topic here a bit, and I was amazed at how big it is in like the United States. It's absolutely massive, and it's like rock music. So some of it musically is quite good. I'm always into everything like that. So yeah, and obviously my meditation and spiritual development is important. So you bang on about that. Next comment. Loving my journal. Excuse me. Loving my journal. It really is helping me stay on track and plug away at my goals. Exactly. This is the point. If you think about what a journal does, what are we really doing with journal? Right, we're setting our intent in the morning. And I always think that it's really good to wake up and just writing things down, pen to paper, for me, really makes it stick in the memory. It really commits it to memory. And writing it down, there's nothing like, I used to use a digital journal. It's nowhere near as good. I mean, I love it. It's like a ritual, sitting in the garden, coffee, all that. But writing it down every day really sets your intentions. And obviously you've got the gratitude and what it does for your mental state and preparing you, right? So I'm going to labour on this point a bit. Preparing your mental state is super important. You know, when we talked about working in them focus blocks of time, so like you're going to pick what are the top 3 things I need to do today from you know, working towards your goals. So these are going to be things that are going to move the needle. They're not going to be fucking around answering to, you know, doing low value tasks and answering emails. What are the top 3 things that I need to do today? So each one of them, you want to be not multitasking and solely focused on, you know, in each one within a 60 or 90-minute block of time. So you get them done. Great. By journaling, and you set those 3 things, you know, you set the things that you're working on. That's why I do that. I set the 3 things. Just by writing them down in the morning gives you that, it's like mental preparedness, you know, you're setting your state. And also, if you write a positive affirmation, this is really good for state management. Tony Robbins talks about priming your state. Rather than just waking up late and just rushing into work and just fucking winging it and just opening your emails and seeing what's top of the list and running it that way, or working what you're on yesterday, be very intentful. The other thing about what I would say with journaling, because it's such a relaxing thing to do in the morning with a coffee. I mean, I do it in the garden, listening to the birds and, you know, wildlife and all that. It's such a calming thing to do. It's almost meditative, right? And before you start work, what you want to do with your state, you want to work on your parasympathetic nervous system, so that you're calming yourself down, you know what I mean? Because when you start working, even if you're doing physical work, mental work, your state can get elevated, right? And this is why after, if you think of them focus blocks of time, we've only got a short attention span. After about an hour, even an hour's hard. Some people can't do 5 minutes, but you know, every now and again, if you're working like focus work, deep work for an hour, maybe 90 minutes, at the end of it, you get fidgety. You've got to stop and have a break. You've done enough. And that's because your state's slowly fucking elevating through that, you know what I mean, that period. So you then need another 15 to 20-minute break to calm it down again. Then you can go again. So the reason why journaling is so important, because it gives you that focus time in the morning to plan what you're doing. And also it's like time to yourself, which not a lot of people do. And people think that it's not work, but it is really preparing your state. Because I always think, even when I journal again at night, me sitting there journaling and reading is when all my best ideas come out. It's when you can freely think. So it is brilliant. And the other good thing about journaling is when you tick it off, and then at the night when you're writing down at the bottom, you do the correction bit, don't you? You're going to see how the day went. How can you improve? Keep all your journals, and then over time, read them back. So when you get to the end, if they last 6 months, like mine, right? Most journals last about 6 months. You do get some 3-month journals. When you finished it, read it back. And what you should notice is habits tightening up, bad habits going. Maybe in your correction bit, you're saying, "Oh, I should have gone to bed early," and all that stuff. This is where you'll read the picture of growth or not, or whether you've slipped back. So it is important to read back. I keep them all. And sometimes, like, I might spend a couple of hours on a Saturday going back through them. And then, you know, if you read one from like 3 years ago, you'd be amazed. You'd be like, fucking, were I doing that 2 years ago? And it's like, yeah. So, and the reason being is because you're writing it in the moment. If you ever think back to the past, we tend to sort of rewrite the past based on where we currently are. So it's always better to record in the moment with your current mindset at that time, because that will be the most truthful. Yeah. Hi, Sim, you're right. It's you. I appreciate how quick it is to complete in the mornings, and at first it seems daunting. Yeah, you're right on this. But it gets you in thinking first thing, and it all becomes more natural. And now I look forward to using it. Yes, daily. Yeah, I get that. A lot of people think that. I used to think this, that just by journaling, I always think I ain't got time to journal, you know. But if you ever used a journal, it takes like 5 minutes in the morning. And obviously you're setting your day with intent. It's like planning your day. So I used to think, oh, I ain't got time to journal. The amount of people that say that. And then only when you've used it a bit, first thing you realise is it doesn't take that long. The second thing, it actually gives you so much time back, right? Because you're planning your day with intent, you're not procrastinating, you're doing what you said you're going to do in your journal. And then the other thing is when you tick things off, it's fucking satisfying, you know? So yeah, that's about habit formation. I'll just go back over the list again, just so you've got it. I always write these little notes. Right, number 1, these are the 7 habits. You ready? Wake up early. On the morning. I know we've heard this, but it's real. You can get ahead by doing this. Number 2, set the day with intent. Use a journal, right? Plan your day with intent. Do the gratitude, set the day with intent, write some positive affirmations. Your state will be ready. Number 3, exercise daily. I'm not saying go and break your back in the gym every day. If you can do that, whatever, but I don't think you should go and do heavy lifting every day, even if it's just some form of exercise, a walk, move around. Number 4, eat clean. Whole foods wherever possible, right? Lower your body inflammation, watch your overall calories, right? Number 5, always read every day. All the successful people read. Come on, just listen to them. And like Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues. Number 6, always work in focus blocks of time and work on one thing at once, right, in sort of 60 to 90 minute blocks with a short break in between. You can't multitask. Focus on one thing at a time. And then number 7, sleep. Make sure you get good sleep. Don't deprive sleep too much. Yes, you can bank it, but just, you know, make sure you get your sleep, whatever you do. It's so important to your recovery. You know, have you ever found that all the negative thoughts, if you have negative thoughts and start worrying and things like this, or oh, what about this, what about that, you always have more negative thoughts the more tired you are. It affects your state massively. Those are the 7 things that you need to do. Yeah, thanks for listening. All links are down below, including the journal if you want to get one. You'd be helping me and helping you, and I'll help you. And probably I've done quite a few videos on productivity and habits. I've got some links actually down below in the description. So thank you very much for listening. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe. See you all next time.